Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Best MTG Decks Ever. I'm your host Joseph, and today we're going to be looking at a deck that I call Kenrith and 2 Orcs because the commander I'm running is Kenrith and we win with 2 Orcs. Let's take a look at the deck. So here is the deck. We are running Kenrith the Return King, 4 colorless, 1 white to get a 5/5 on the board. 2 abilities on here we care about, the rest not really so much. The first ability that we're going to look at is 3 colorless, 1 blue, target player draws a card. The second one is 4 colorless, 1 black, you put a creature from a graveyard onto the battlefield under its owner's control. With those 2 abilities, we want to take advantage of a combo where we can get infinite mana and infinite draw using those 2 abilities. We are going to be using either Dockside Extortionist or Peregrine Drake along with a sack outlet. You cast Dockside while you have got the sack outlet out there, you sack him, he goes into the graveyard, you get more mana, plus the treasures that he has that enters the battlefield, and then you can use the black ability to bring him back on the battlefield, create more treasures, sack him again, get more mana, add infinity until you have infinite mana, and then you can get infinite draw. You can do the same thing with Peregrine Drake, and I'm thinking about taking Peregrine Drake out and just solely focusing on Dockside. I mean, the only reason why I have 2 in here is on the off chance that Dockside gets exiled, then we wouldn't be able to get him out of the graveyard using the black ability, which would suck. However, we do have Phantasmal Image, so if somebody else has Dockside on the board, we can Phantasmal Image, copy it, and then start doing the combo. A little bit more brittle, but it will still work. So once we have infinite mana and infinite draw, we will cast a Silence, Grand Abolisher, or Ranger, Captain of Eos, activating his second ability so that no one can cast spells on our turn. Well, that'll lock them all out. We've got plenty of counter spells to use to ensure that we get these silence effects to go off. Next, we want to cast Mirkwood Bats. Mirkwood Bats reads, whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. Well, we are going to be taking advantage of Orcish Bowmasters' amass ability. Every single time an opponent draws a card, it will amass 1. And then we can sack that using one of the sack outlets, Phyrexian Altar or Ashnod's Altar, and that'll cause a death trigger. Mirkwood Bats gets a trigger from when that token is created and when it dies. So not only are we going to be getting mana, I mean, we've got infinite mana anyway, so we don't even need it, but whatever, beating a dead horse. So every single time an opponent draws, this will do 2 damage. Plus, Orcish Bowmasters is doing 1. So every draw equals 3 damage. We are going to be using this in combination with Time Twister. We silence Mirkwood Bats, have a sack outlet, then we Orcish Bowmasters and Time Twister. Our opponents are already locked out, so you don't have to do like the tricky thing where you cast Time Twister and then flash in Orcish Bowmasters. It really doesn't matter at this point. We'll just cast both of them. Use your best judgment, look at the battlefield, and do what needs to be done. What will happen at that point in time is Time Twister will resolve, and everyone will draw 7 cards. So you got 3 opponents, 7, 7, 7. 7 times 3, each one takes 21 damage. And then what we can do is we can start to loop Time Twister. So we would continue infinite mana and infinite draw, grabbing Eternal Witness. We take Time Twister from the graveyard, put it into our hand. We could take Eternal Witness from the graveyard using the commander's ability, put it out on the board, then cast Time Twister, then sack it. Our hand and our graveyard goes into the library. Everyone takes another 21 damage. I mean, there should be dead at this point, because now at this point, everyone should have taken 42 damage. But just in case they're still alive, then what you can do is you can sack the Eternal Witness and then get the mana from it. You don't even need the mana. We still have infinite mana. Bring Eternal Witness back out, Time Twister again, and then you can just keep doing that over and over until you have killed everybody. That is how we win. Just tons of arrows. That's all we do. It's just our 2 Orcs and Kenrith are standing out there and they're just shooting arrows at everyone until they die. Now let's take a look at the different little groupings that we have in this deck. So we've got some graveyard spells. We've got Reanimate, Eternal Witness, Mnemonic Betrayal. One of the most important cards here is Eternal Witness. We want to be able to use that so we can loop Time Twister. We've got a little section of infinite combo pieces. I might take out these right here because you don't necessarily need them, but they could help you pull off Dockside. So for example, if your opponents don't have enough artifacts and enchantments, these might help you pull off the infinite combo with Dockside. We've got our sack outlets, the Time Twister, and Mirkwood Bats. So that's all the infinite combo pieces. We've got a lot of tutors here. Enlightened Tutor, Entome, Gamble, Green Sun Zenith, Imperial Seal, Mystical Tutor, Vampiric Tutor, Worldly Tutor, Demonic Tutor, Delmin's Call, Finale Devastation, Invasion of Ikoria, Neoform, Grim Tutor. We basically want to be grabbing Dockside with most of these, not all of them. So Enlightened Tutor, you could be grabbing Training Grounds, or Rhystic Study, or a Sack Outlet. With Entomb, you could be grabbing Peregrine Drake or Dockside, and then reanimating it or using the Commander ability and starting that chain off. We've got Gamble, go grab anything you want. More creatures, grab anything that you want. Neoform, probably going to be using it on a 1-cost creature, like Birds of Paradise. Do that, boom, and then you get one that costs 1 more. You get Dockside, and then you start your Dockside combo. Thinking possibly about dropping Grim Tutor. It's 3, which is kind of steep price in CEDH. We've got a whole bunch of counters and protection: Deflecting Swat, Fierce Guardianship, Mental Misstep, Pact of Negation, Chain of Vapor, Dispel, Flusterstorm, Miscast, Red Elemental Blast, and a whole bunch of other stuff to lock down our opponents and just kind of control. We've got Draw, Esper Sentinel, Mystic Remora, Rhystic Study. For fast mana, we've got a bunch of Mana Rocks, Mana Dorks. I included these because the Forest card enters the battlefield and it's not tapped, so we can take advantage of it right away. And we have a whole bunch of lands. So that is the deck. The whole point of it is we just want to win with Kenrith and Orcish Bowmasters, plopping everyone off. As soon as I saw Orcish Bowmasters, I wanted to beat people with Orcish Bowmasters and Wheels. And so this is the deck that I built to do that. And I believe that it accomplishes that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the deck and enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.